Peace, family. I'm going to do a follow-up on the video that I just got through doing. It's about being respectfully disrespectful. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to have to be, you're going to have to be respectfully disrespectful on several different things in order to get black people to where we should be moving forward. As I said in my previous video, what we was doing in the 60s to find our way of life, we need to either abandon them, alter them, or reinterpret them. We cannot keep doing things the way we've been doing it. And there are vital areas that we need to address. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be respectfully disrespectful right now. First thing we need to reevaluate is the Bible. Using the Bible to liberate our people, using the same passages and scriptures to liberate our people, should be abandoned. We've turned the other cheek. We've loved our enemy. We gave it to God. It's 50 million blacks in this country today. We've been doing all these things for 400 years. We ain't got no more cheeks to turn. It's time we start taking a stand. There's no sense in following scripture if it don't do you or your people no earthly good. What benefits have you gotten by turning the other cheek? None. What benefits have you gotten from loving your enemy? None. What benefits have you gotten taking your problems and giving them to God instead of you handling them yourselves? None. Now, I know some of you slaves will sit up there and talking about some, it worked for me, but does it work for our people? Do it work for the masses? No. The other thing that we need to reevaluate is the speeches and the inspirational moments that we have used to guide our thoughts today. And I'm going to take Malcolm X as my first person of interest. A lot of what Malcolm X said, I agree 100%. But the one thing that I have a problem with Malcolm X is he was a little vague in key vital areas. When I see Negroes today using Malcolm X, saying that today he would be a Republican, they get that from the fact that when Malcolm X was criticizing Martin Luther King, and when they was asking Malcolm about his feelings about Martin Luther King and his movement, Malcolm X questioned Martin Luther King's surroundings, the people he had in his circle, and he referred to them over and over again as liberals. See, and when these Negroes today hear this, they interpret this as saying that if Malcolm X was alive today, he'd be Republican. But that is not what Malcolm X said. He just kept talking about the liberal friends that Martin Luther King had. He should have been more clear. I'm not liberal or Republican. I don't claim one side of this bird over the other. They are both equally corrupt. We should forge our own political party to stand in between the left and the right. This is why you have extremes on either side, because our vote is not attached to anything but the politician. Nothing tangible. So as long as there's no attachment, then you can have extreme parties on the left and right. Get out of hand. we need to be flexible. State our position, state our demands, and with whichever party, granted, that's the one we're going to go with. Then when you do that, then you won't have the left go so far left that they don't even have to care what you want, because you Negroes going to vote for them anyway. And then you won't have the right go so far right because they don't even care, because you're not going to vote for them anyway. But as long as you got something that our people need, as long as we come together as a people, and we're willing to give this political power to anybody, then they'll stay closer to us. And then you won't have these extremes left and rights. Now, with Martin Luther King, just about 99% of all his speeches should be banned from the airwaves. YouTube, TikTok, TV, radio, just about everything. And the reason why I say that, respectfully, is the fact that Martin Luther King's speech about black children and white children playing together, that was his symbol of, you've been to the mountaintop. And you've seen basically what God wants you to see as his vision of how this world should be. Black children and white children playing together. See, you Negro pastors kill me. Y'all always including blacks and whites. You don't think God want whites to play with Asians, Latinos, Arabs, Chaldeans? It's always black and white. That's because you bastards been selling out our people for a long time. Putting this, so as soon as these Negroes today see blacks and whites playing together, they think they fulfilling prophecy, or they think they're seeing prophecy being fulfilled. We gotta squash this nonsense, because see, that speech that Martin Luther King gave was not no speech that he was realizing today, judging a person by his character, content of his character, not the color of his skin. That was a prophetic speech, a speech that was supposed to be seen in some time in the future. Well, it's been 60 years since that speech, and we still haven't seen it. And I don't care what Martin Luther King said, senior, old junior, whatever Martin Luther King said. The color of your skin should be paramount to everything we do as a people. Last, let me say this. Black people, we have got to get to the point of building our own independent means to sustain our own way of life. That means building our own businesses, industries, and institutions. When we don't do that, we leave the education of our children, the employment of our people, the promotions, the awards, the punishments, the benefits, all in the hands of somebody else. If we established our own, then we create a social force, an economic force, an industrial force, a political force, to define and carve out our own way of life. There was this guy that was doing this alive, and he was asking white people, would you trade places with me? And they was like, well, sure, I had no problem. That's a lie. There's no white person on the planet that would trade places with blacks to live in a land that was conquered by their enslavers 400 years ago, 500 years ago, and still be in this land with no economic, no political, no social, no industrial power to protect or preserve their way of life. There's not a white person on the planet that would do that. And if they wouldn't do it, we shouldn't do it. Now I'm in this video here, and like I say, I'm going to be disrespectful, but I'm going to do it in the most respectful means possible.